Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody today? Give me some chats online. Tell me how you're doing today. How's everybody doing? Who feels unstoppable today? Raise a hand, smash a chat in there. Say yes. Because there you go. There's one. Absolutely, Jose. I know why too, brother. Congratulations. Yes, I feel. Look, so just to get this out of the way right out of the gates. So I'm not going to be in the office today in the next couple of days. So on Sunday I woke up. I just didn't feel that great. I mean, I didn't feel sick. Just didn't feel that great. Had a big headache and felt like I had to just sit down because my head wouldn't stop pounding. Middle of the day, I started feeling fine. End of the day, I felt fine. But yesterday morning, I woke up and I said, well, I'm going to go get a test just to be certain, to make sure that, I do my part and don't put anybody else at risk. And I went and had a test. I had a rapid test and a PCR test. The rapid test came back positive. Um, as you can see, I feel pretty well fine. I don't have any issues or anything, so I feel fine. I'm waiting on a PCR test to see how that comes back, and then I'll continue to monitor from there. But I feel great. I still feel pretty damn unstoppable, even though I've got this little line on the test that said I was positive. I don't feel that way at all. And I just say, yes, I'm positive. I'm one positive MFer. I'm always a positive person. I'm always going to be positive, always going to be happy, always going to be in a good mood. So if you tell me I'm negative, the only thing that'll make me negative is a negative COVID test. Everything else is all good. So that's out of the way. Today we're going to talk about Moxi. I'm going to have Jimmy talking about some of the Moxi things that are coming around and telling you and showing you what some of the things that we're trying to do to help you create some more traction online for you. And we've got a couple other things to cover. So let's just, we'll go in, we'll cover those really quick.
Really quick? Like really quick?
Really quick.
Like really quick? Okay. We got Moxi coming. Boom. Done. It's quick.
I'll go through a couple things here online, and then Jimmy will jump in and he'll take on that. Online, you told your GTAR, today is the last day to pay GTAR dues. So we do have a few people, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 7 people that need to pay their dues. More than likely, all of you are not even online. So I'll be making some phone calls today. Admit everybody else, making some phone calls today to get all of you up to speed on that. So make sure that your GTAR dues are paid. I don't believe anybody online that I've seen are someone that needs to have that done. Floor duty, as we come up, we're going to have some floor duty shifts. Like I said, as February comes out, we'll send out that notice. After the first week of having the notification out for signing up for floor duty in that specific office location, then anyone will be allowed to sign up for floor duty after that. No, Claire, not Stellar, GTAR. So your Stellar MLS dues and your GTAR dues, two separate things. So your Stellar dues are due in like April, May, and then the GTAR dues are due in November, December, and they're late by today. Today's the last day to pay them. So not Stellar, GTAR. So if you have any questions, log into GTAR or call GTAR. Like I said, floor duty is going to be open to only the specific offices that they're in for the first week. After that first week, if there are open slots, anybody can sign up for them. But it's going to be predicated on you understanding the market and knowledge of where you are signing up for. So if you don't know Sun City, you're not going to be able to sit on floor in Sun City. And if you don't know Waterfront, you're not going to be able to sit on floor in Apollo Beach. If you have questions about that, reach out to me directly. We'll make sure that we get you up to speed on that. We did show you that the Calendly appointments are open. We have our link in our email. So if you look inside any of our emails in our signature line, both Jimmy and I have a link there. I've had quite a few people sign up for appointments. I've got multiple today and tomorrow. And then all throughout the rest of the weeks. So use those to let's get on and get you accountable, get you achieving the things that you want. We did push back the second quarter kickoff, the new year kickoff, and it's going to be second quarter kickoff and award ceremony April 8th. Here's all of our classes. The next one will be January 27th at 11 a.m. We'll send out an email invite, a calendar invite for that. The February ones are Moxi. Those are going to be done by Moxi themselves in Century 21. So we'll get those dates and send them out. And then in March, we're going to be scheduling the 10th and the 24th to do follow-ups, hands-on stuff for Moxi. Jumping next. We do still have some needs for open houses. So 1611 New Bedford Drive. If you'd like to have an open house, please contact Barney Shoemaker there. And I'll also send another email out today. And then Jimmy, you go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing and let you jump in so that we can cover all of our Moxi stuff that we wanted to get into and show you some of the tools and things that you can do with Moxi and how we could potentially help you.
All right, so I'm going to give you a couple save the dates, just so you all are aware of when everything is launching. So we already have Moxi Present and Moxi Impress. The next two that are coming out are going to be Moxi Engage, which is our CRM, and then Moxi website. So I want you to kind of just save the date right now. You're going to get emails. You're going to get calendar invites that are correct with the dates and times for those. But on February 17th, there will be an agent training for Moxi Engage. So that's your CRM. So we're going to start teaching you on that. And then on March 3rd is going to be Moxi website training. Okay, and these will be available around that same time for us to get into. So just save those dates. You'll get some stuff out there, but just be prepared that those are coming this next month, month and a half with the launch. We just want to make sure that we're up to date. Now, real quick on Moxi Engage, since that's your CRM, I highly recommend that if you are not the best with Zap or Business Builder, you got clients all over the place, you're not sure what's going to happen, tune in this Thursday for our Tactical Thursday training. I am going to go over how to make sure you back up your clients on Zap and Business Builder to ensure that in case there was some type of hiccup, you don't lose any of your contacts. Now, I'm not foreseeing any of that happening, but a good business owner will make sure they have stuff backed up that if something fails, they still have all their client information. So along with that, I'm going to show you some really cool things. You're going to get a little sneak peek here in a second, but Thursday's training is going to be pretty cool. So again, I know it's a little techy, but these are things that we need to do to prepare for the launch that is coming soon. So the other part of that too is going to be in Zap. You want to make sure you start updating your leads, please. You want to make sure that you are on point and get all of your red balls taken care of, which we'll discuss on Thursday. I want to give a quick little, I'm going to share my screen real quick. I'm going to show you something. There's some test property websites, things that we're going to be able to do and what it's going to look like for Moxi website. So this is just a little, kind of get a little pumped up of what some of these things look like. And again, we'll get a little bit more into it. Look, this one here is pretty sweet. So this is stuff that we're going to be able to do with our website. You're seeing that, right, Chris?
Yes. Yeah,
okay. So very, very cool. Just a little taste. Again, tune in on Thursday, please. So Thursdays at 8:30. It's the normal meeting on Thursday, Joe. So 8:30 in the morning, 8:30 to 9:30, Tactical Thursday. So next up, I do want to kind of give a shout out right now, and I'm going to share this because I think this is important. So when did we launch Moxi Present, Chris? Like 4 months ago, I think, just about, right?
Around
so what I want to do is I want to give a shout out to some of the top users for Moxi Present. So obviously you're going to see me up here because I'm doing a lot of training and I do use it for everything. But I want to give a shout out to Rachel. So Rachel, are you somewhere here?
I'm driving, but yeah, I'm here.
Yes. So Rachel, I want to say thank you very much. You're coming in at number 2 when it comes down to presentations that have been created. And I just want to say thank you. And this is on the spot and you're driving, so if you don't want to, so I can't, can you tell me a tiny bit about what you're doing with Moxi Present and how you're using it and how you're getting so many presentations done? I know I threw you on the spot.
No, you're fine. I do the pre-listing, like preview package to email to potential listings, and then I am using it as my listing presentation. So I'm taking my computer with me and actually like sitting it in front of me and them and showing them the listing presentations that way.
Well, awesome. Thank you for that. Also, Michelle Camp, awesome job with 22. So, again, this has been the last few months, but it just shows some of the agents that are getting a little bit more involved in using it. We have Raquel's in there, Angela, Sarah. Now, one of the other things I kind of wanted to discuss too is when you think about it, the last month we've done basically 31 presentations as a South Shore location. And what that means is that between the two offices, we have done 28 seller presentations in the last 30 days and only 3 buyer. So the only thing I want to talk about on the buyer standpoint, because when I'm in the office, I hear agents talking, you guys are getting leads like crazy right now. Leads like you're getting leads, you're talking to them, you're setting appointments. What I want you to start doing is and I mean, Chris, you can jump in on this also, is start making some buyer presentations where you had that first conversation with somebody and you are now setting up an appointment. You're going to give them some information, and then you're going to either go meet at a new home, meet at the office, or whatever that might be. Come in here, start a new buyer presentation. This is already set up for you with C21 Beggins, this buyer presentation here, and it will have all the information around the company, your reviews, information around you, your website, all that kind of stuff is already pre-done and ready for you. You literally could get off the phone, come in here, set this up, and within 3 minutes, be sending a presentation that will rival anybody else on the market right now. So, and we'll teach you how to do videos. We'll teach you all that kind of stuff, but I highly recommend to use this because only 3 buyer presentations that have been set up. You don't have to use it for numbers. This is a presentation that talks about Century 21. And to give you an idea, I'm going to show you the one. I had someone who reached out to me on Facebook and said, hey, what's up, Jimmy Jams? How you doing? I want to buy a house in the next 7 months. Where do I got to go? How do I want to start? I gave her a call and talked to her, but I basically shared this on Facebook Messenger for her. And it talks about the home buying process. I mean, it's not a ton of stuff, but it's just something that's different, that's always there and ready to go. So I highly recommend to use something on that standpoint with buyers.
Well, here, even along those lines, when it's a best practice too. So the Zillow team that we're working with, they ask our agents after they get connected with a buyer to send this buyer a video after the call. So they want you to have a video already saved, already there, basically giving yourself an introduction, telling them you're looking forward to working with them, giving them a couple best practices, next steps, asking them to be on the lookout for any surveys or emails or anything from them, and then ending it and sending that over. So that's Zillow, a huge national company that says that all of the agents, they work with tens of thousands of agents. The agents that are getting the best results and being able to build the best rapport and create the best experience for their customers are doing something like that, sending a video, sending something to the buyer right after their first consultation. So it's a really good practice to have. Plus, when you talk to somebody, there's a couple things, whether it's the first time you talk to them, the last time you talk to them. Typically, when you meet somebody for the first time, if you get connected with a buyer or it's the first time that you're really starting to do business with them, you need to solidify that stance with them by sending them something and communicating with them within the next 3 days. The sooner the better. So basically, from your first connection with somebody, if you do not reach back out to them and connect with them in some way in the next 3 days, you lose that spot in their head. It literally starts to dissipate and go away, and they can't remember your name. They don't forget how they got in contact with you. So when you talk to somebody, really good practice is to follow up with them with something, but you don't want to just call them back and say, hey, we just talked, thought I'd call you back, make sure I didn't miss anything. This is a perfect way to do that. Send them a presentation, a buyer presentation. It has this information on there that's going to spell it out. You can prioritize and personalize this and add your own page with your lender, with a home inspector, with any of that. You can add that in. This is just a Beggins one that will populate with your info and the rest of the buyer info in it.
And this is something, this presentation never goes away. So if you really wanted to, you can make a generic buyer presentation, buyer video, have it in here. And you literally have this link right here that I can share to anybody at any time, and they'll be able to see this. Oh, and by the way, well, I'm worried, like, what if they can't get in touch with me? What if they can't do this? They can still get to your website. They can still search on your website that we have now, which is tied into Zap, and eventually it will be Moxi. But they still have all those connections. So if they get to the point, maybe it's because we know it could take a couple years for a buyer to be truly ready to buy a home. So depending on where they're at, if you have this, you're staying in contact, they still have this, they can click on it, and then all of a sudden you start noticing that they're doing that. So I just thought that was kind of cool. And hey Laura, you're on here too, right? Can you shake your head and say it's okay if I share your presentation? Okay, cool. So this is the last thing I'll talk about, and as always, if you need anything, reach out to us. We will help out as much as that we can. But so Laura does a ton in Bahia Lakes, right? Yeah, she's not going to unmute or anything. You don't have to unmute. You're fine. Just shake your head the entire time. Anyway, so she consistently sends out monthly newsletters to her clients to let her know what's going on with comps in the area. And she came to me and said, hey, I want to do some type of video, I want to put something together that's a little bit different so I can up my game in the community. So we actually did that. We shot some video. We did some things, which we talked about last week, right, Chris? If you want to do some videos, we want to do some stuff, reach out to us. We'll be glad to help you because we want to start posting this on our social media page as a, as an office. So what we found out and what we kind of played around is not only did we get the ability of making a pretty cool video about Bahia Lakes, but we also made a presentation that, since she is on the Facebook page, actually, you know what I need, Laura? I got to get the one because I shared it with you. 1 second here. Where is it at? It's right here. Okay, sorry about that. She runs the Facebook page in Bahia Lakes also, so she's always posting on there. And so what she is going to be doing, I don't know if she has done it yet, but she will be providing a video that talks about kind of what's happening in the market, also attaching this video to it where it's a little bit more user-friendly and interactive, I guess you can say, for them, that she's actually called out. So I just wanted to kind of show you this. So instead of just sending out your comps, right, and here you go through the mail, well, you could definitely still do that. But by copying this link, putting it in the Facebook group, they could click on this and they can actually see what's going on. The comps that you're talking about can click on to actually see, well, my house looks better than that. It's probably worth more. And this talks about all the sold properties in the last 6 months. It gives you averages, gives you high, low, and averages across board, nothing crazy. And then this is what she was sending out to them. So it's really kind of cool because this kind of updates in real time. Now you want to go in and make sure that it's adjusted correctly in there. But this is something now that it has saved. She can go in next month, edit it, just adjust the comp. So add more, maybe add if there's anything active or pending in there. And it's the same presentation. It's the same link. So anytime anybody on Facebook ends up going through and clicking this link, it's going to end up being up to date. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then she did do a video. Do you want me to show the video? Not really. We'll do that. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I got to make sure I have the audio.
Well, here's the deal. What I would love to do, and I would love to see happen, is I would love to have more videos like this for all the neighborhoods around our entire coverage, our entire marketplace, with any agents. We did this with Laura because she came and asked, hey, I'd like to do this. You guys mentioned videos. I'd like to create some more stuff. So we sat down and tried to help her with that. Jimmy did. And I'd like to have more of you engage with us and say, I want to do something similar to this. And it's not going to look just like this. We're going to try and do different things so that it looks a little bit different for each person. So it's branded a little differently. So everybody, I want you to say, hey, I want to do this for my community or for this community. And we will sit down and we'll do this. And we want to try and get this out into more markets so that we have more marketing pieces that are like this featuring our agents.
The idea is we'll brainstorm with you and kind of come up with some cool ideas, what you want it to look like, what we think it can, and and just play around. And it's always going to be a work in progress, but it's still like just putting something like this together that we can send out to everybody. Let's see what we got. I got a couple.
Where did she do the market analysis? The one was done through Moxi. So when you create the one presentation, it asks you to pick comps and it asks you to pick, you can set the neighborhood and select comps. The other one that was a PDF sheet was printed direct. The market analysis sheet was printed directly from Matrix and it was uploaded as a PDF and created a page inside of there.
I will actually make a video that is a training video for everybody to look at, to pick a specific community in Moxi so you can kind of narrow it down and and be able to do something like this. But let me go ahead and play. Can you just shake your head and let me know if the audio is
Century
working all right?
21 Beggings. You probably see me around the community a lot and on Facebook. What I want to share with you this time is what's happening in the real estate market in our community. But for the ones who don't know me, let me share a little bit about myself. I was born in Buenos Aires, Argentina. I speak Spanish. I have 2 amazing kids, and I have been living in Bahia Lakes for the past 12 years. Enough about me. Let's dive into real estate. The Tampa Bay real estate market is projected to be the #1 real estate market in the United States. As you know, Bahia Lakes is an established community featured in NBC and Fox News, showcasing its amazing sunsets and views. Within the last 6 months in Bahia Lakes, there has been a total of 16 sold properties, and the pricing ranging between $265,000 to $460,000. The average days in the market is 8 days, and the square footage around 2,500 square feet. At this time, there are no active properties in the market, neither pending listings. So the real question is, for the right price, would you consider selling your home? Thank you for watching. Look out for the info I'm mailing to you, or click on the link in the post for the detailed information of Bahia Lakes.
All right. So just something short and sweet. It didn't take any time to get this done either. But yeah, just something short and sweet. And if you are interested, please feel free to reach out. We will come up with some, cool ideas for you if you already have a community that you're working in. Maybe you're already doing some things like this already. But we want to share what you're doing and how awesome you guys are doing in the community. So please feel free to reach out. I think that's all I have on Moxi, I think. Oh, I have one quick thing. Video testimonials team. I will be sending out a sign-up sheet later this week. We would like to get some updated agent testimonials. And we're gonna do quick little videos. That way we can use it for recruiting and also on our social media page to talk about beggings. So just look out for that. And if you're interested, we'll get you signed up and set that up. So thank you, everyone.
Cool. Awesome. So thank you for that. The last thing that I want to touch on is just commissions, like listing commissions. So there's been some discussion about what's going on in our markets, what's happening, and taking listings at 6% versus 5%. So just want to put some clarity out there to this to clarify everything here. So as a company, we charge 6%, but currently, the way the market is going at this rate, there are more than in most of the markets, typically about 70 to 80% of the markets are listing at on a list side commission or offering on a buyer side commission 2.5% or less. So basically a total commission of 5% or less. We do not list at 5%. We list at 6%. Now, when a seller comes in and has objections to that, then we can address them and try to work through those objections to try and keep them at 6%. Or if we have to, we can be strong enough to bend to go at 5%, but I want to try and get some more value out of it rather than just reducing commission to 5%. I would like the opportunity to see if they are working to purchase a home and how we might be able to help them. A simple question like, so my company does 6%. I know you're asking about a reduced commission, but we are not a discount brokerage. But what I can do for you is offer you some loyalty credits. So you're selling this home, which means you're not going to be homeless, and you're probably going to be buying another one. Where do you plan on moving to? See if they're going to be moving in the area, someplace that you can help them. If they allow you to help them with the purchase of their home, then you ask them. So what I'd love to do is I'd love to give you a loyalty credit when you purchase your home using me as your agent. And we'll put that into the listing agreement that when you agree to use me as the agent to purchase your home, we'll give you a loyalty credit of 1% on the purchase. Now, that way we remain a full service, full boat commission company, and we are offering loyalty credits for their loyalty to us rather than discounting commissions. So that's one way. What we're going to do is the next Tuesday, we'll talk about commission objections. I'm going to have a list of all of them. If you have any specific objections that you've been receiving from sellers whenever you're going on appointments, do me a favor, send them to me in an email. just a quick little email. This is what I'm hearing a lot of. This is what I'd like to have more information on. This is how I'd like to handle this objection more clearly. Send that over to me. We'll put that on the list and I'll make sure we address them next week. But just to be abundantly clear, we are not a discount brokerage. We list at 6%, but there are certain circumstances where we can do 5% listings. Most of our markets, 70% of them are offering 2.5% to a buyer's agent, which means that the majority of them are doing 5%. It doesn't mean we lower our standard. It means we have to be strong enough to bend in certain circumstances. But you need to stand up for your value as a listing agent and as a brokerage with everything that we provide to them and make sure they understand all of those. Whenever we give them all of those circumstances and we let them know everything we provide, the majority of the time there isn't any question about it. But there are people who will stand their ground. I've got a guy right now that I'm talking with that I've dealt with that I helped lease his properties a couple times, 2 of them in Waterset. He said he's thinking of selling them, but he won't list with me unless I do it for 4%. And that's out of the question. And I've given him all of the objections. And this guy is literally, it's just all about the number. I've given him every single thing I possibly can, and he won't do it unless it's at 4. And I'm not going to do 4%. We won't do 4% as a company. If you bring us a 4% listing, we're going to kick it back. So if you're having concerns with getting a listing and standing up for your value, if you end up signing it at 5%, do me a favor, write in the additional terms of the listing agreement. Terms of this listing agreement are pending manager broker approval, or broker manager approval, whatever, pending manager approval. That way you can seem like you are not the one that is bending. You still have to go for permission, and you still have to get permission to do it because it's not something we normally do because we're not a discounted brokerage. We're just trying to keep our value where it belongs. So with that being said, that's the last thing I'll mention. We'll cover more of that next week. We'll talk about objections and objection handling with listing terms, people that are objecting to the commissions, to the terms, to the timelines. We'll talk about those next week. So if you have them, send them to me. I'll be happy to put them on the list and we'll get the objections and the handlers for them. Does anybody have anything they would like to share? Do you have any new listings that are coming up that you want to pitch, that you want to post and talk about? Please, now's the time. Unmute yourself. Let me know you're there. Raise your hand, chat in. Tell me you have a new listing you would like to pitch so we can get it covered and out to the team. Who's there? Crickets? No new listing. Well, I do want to give a shout out to, Jose Alamo. I know you got your first listing last week, about a week and a half ago, a townhome listing, and she ended up going with OfferPad before we went it on the market because we submitted it to OfferPad. So we got a full 3% commission on our side because the OfferPad made more sense for her current situation. And you have a second listing that you're getting signed hopefully today or tomorrow in Riverview, a 2,500 square foot home. Stop, don't put me on the spot. Dude, you're on the spot. You're killing it. 2 listings in 2 weeks and you're brand new in the business. So that's awesome, brother. 2,500 square foot home over in South Fork Lakes. So if you have somebody looking in there for a 1 or 2 year old home over there, 2,500 square foot, going to be around $399. So reach out to Jose Alamo if you have anything. So anybody else, new listings coming on the market? Anybody want to pitch something? Jackie, you look anxious to say something. I see on your face, you look like you got to tell. You got to. No? Anybody? Good. Well, if we don't have anything else to pitch, then we will go ahead and we will wrap it up for today, for this Tuesday. Just a quick reminder, if you are sick, if you are exhibiting symptoms, please stay out of the office. Please make sure that you get tested. And, before you come back in, if you've been exposed to somebody, before you come back in, just have a negative test. Make sure that you have that to provide. Make sure that everybody's comfortable. We're just trying to keep everybody safe. So I appreciate everybody's help in doing that, which is exactly what I'm doing at the moment. So we're going to continue to do that. Everybody be safe. If you need
we just had a question pop up. Said real quick. Sorry.
Go ahead. When we get callbacks on the flyers and a potential seller wants to only find out about the value, do I make an appointment for preview or just give them a range if they aren't ready to sell? If you give them a range, if I think my home, so I was talking to somebody last week, they have somebody who might be selling in a neighborhood and they want like $600,000 for it. Well, the highest sale in that neighborhood has been like, mid 4s, high 4s at most. If you give them a range of 450 to 500 and they want 600, even though it's absolutely out of the question, you will not get the preview or the appointment the next time. You need to take the opportunities to handle the listing the way that you should. Follow the process. The process is about building rapport. Yes. The process is not about doing everything the way that we say to do it. Do this, do that. The process is about building rapport and connection. So if you do your listing preview, listing pre-qualification, ask them some questions, build rapport. Listing preview, get to meet them in person, build more rapport. Listing presentation, where you give them a good range, even if you don't zero in on it, give them a good range of the value. And even if we don't go full on with everything, we just are in there to give them a range. You've built rapport and we're able to get them to understand why they should like you, know you, and trust you. And even if they don't like what you said, they trust you and they know that you know what you're doing, and you're still going to have an opportunity where they're going to come back to you and ask you and compare you to other people. And they're going to see that other people are full of garbage and crap when they tell them that they can get exactly what they want for it because they like, know you, and trust you. So I would still go through the process. I would still get a preview, because you can give them a range, but that range is going to be pretty broad. I would absolutely intentionally give them a broad range, because I don't want to be pigeonholed into something without actually seeing the home. So it's two different theories. Yeah, you can give them a range, but you might lose them right away because you didn't take the opportunity to build a rapport. I prefer to go through the process, ask the questions, get a preview, and then give them a range. That way, if the range you gave them isn't what they wanted to hear, they still like you, know you, and trust you. No, and if that's it, then we'll go ahead and wrap up. You guys have a great week. If you need anything, please feel free to reach out, give me a call, give me an email. We'll same thing with Jimmy. We're available if you need us.